Coming through.
I'm gonna set my water down over here. I need a drink of water because I'm nervous. My next guest, we go way back. I don't know. I think like a couple weeks. I emailed him, begged him to come on the show, and he was like, "There's no way I have time for some idiot like you in the state of Texas. I don't know if I have time for someone like you." And after I think I texted for every hour in the hour for 10 hours for like I think 5 weeks, and he finally said, "Okay, I'll come on." So, but without further ado, he is an instructor at Grand Canyon University, co-owner of ArmourPickleball, all things pickleball, bringing pickleball joy through life. Excuse me, I'm sorry. He's bringing pickleball joy through competition, family, friends, fun, and fellowship. Basically, to people that aren't smart like me, that means you're a good pickleball dude and a good dad and a good dude. And no further ado, we have Mr. Matt Hampton on. Matt, how are you, bro?
I'm doing great. Thanks for inviting me.
Oh man, my pleasure. I'm glad you finally said yes. My God,
You
I'm
know,
just
my wife said, you got to answer this guy. He keeps texting you. So you got to get back to him. And I said, okay, I'll respond to him.
now I'm really scared because if I get the wife involved, boss involved, oof, that's the scary stuff. It's kind of like when you're a kid, you know what I mean? It's like
It's all,
wait till I tell your father when you get home. No, don't say that. Now as an adult, wait till I tell you. When the mom gets involved, you're in trouble. If the wife does. Oh, jeez. Well, I'm glad you came on, Matt. I guess we'll just start with the way of pickleball. That's our first part of the pickleball show here with Curtis Reese in Dallas, Texas.
sure.
And just what your story of pickleball, what, when, where, how, and all that.
Got it. Yeah. So I just like everybody else, I love this sport. It's been something that has been amazing in my life. And probably about 7 years ago, I really knew nothing about it. I just basically hadn't even heard of it, never really seen it. And had a friend of mine at work, and he invited me out to play. And within like 5 minutes, I was addicted, man. I just got like pumped. It was like, this is so fun. And it was just so awesome. And, just out there playing and having a good time and socializing, laughing like crazy, cracking each other up and, playing the best we can for someone that just learned. And, they were laughing at me because I had no skill how to play the game, but I was just having fun. So
We've
that's
all
what
been
it was
through
all
that.
about.
We've all been through that. I mean, did you get your rear end handed to you by a bunch of elder statesmen of the game?
I did.
Did you?
Actually, the first real game that I played, it was probably a guy that was in his 70s.
What was his name?
And
Name drop these people. They're famous now.
no, it was just Rec Place. I don't even remember the name now, but it was. I was surprised where I'm at. It's like there's a lot of players out there, and it was just crazy. So like, I thought, well, I could beat this guy. I can handle him. He doesn't can't move that well. So I get out there, and I don't know anything really much, and I'm just trying to hit the ball hard like most people do when they first get started. And this guy's just handing me everything and placing it, and I can't even reach it because he's placing it where I can't get to it. I mean, the guy whipped my butt. I was humbled pretty fast.
Uh,
So that
what,
was
what,
my introduction to real pickleball. So
that's where you get out there and you just think you could do anything. Oh, I'm gonna attack on the return or attack on the return, and you
yeah,
just why isn't this working? Why am I not getting? What do you mean I can't get points after I went on a return? What? What is wrong with you?
yeah. It's like, how, you got to teach me what you're doing there, buddy. I'm getting killed here.
uh, you said it's just the rapport and you enjoyed the environment, the rec, and what what do you have to go on right now? Kind of explain. This is the intro into what you're doing right now in pickleball. It's a very very impressive body of work you're doing. Just kind of let our viewers know.
Yeah, so I work at Grand Canyon University. I'm actually a professor there, and probably about 6 years ago, we started the idea of like we want to get pickleball going as a club, and so we talked to the administration and work with them, and um, we just got a few students involved and got it going that first year, and basically just kind of introduced them to the sport and played wherever we could. We were playing on tennis courts, kind of made our own lines, and so it was just really informal. Um, and then next, couple years, we kind of grew it a little bit. We got a few more students, and basically, like, COVID hit, and we got kind of stuck. And so the last 2 years, we've been really growing it again. But now we have probably 40 or 50 students that come out on an official club that they pay dues, and I teach them how to play. And some of them are beginners, some of them are pretty much they know. nothing about the sport. So we come and teach them. Others are advanced and they're wanting to get better and they're wanting to compete. So we've introduced them to other schools that we're trying to compete with, and we've introduced them to tournaments and got them involved with those.
So
Um,
this is at for those. So I'm sorry, but Mr. Matt. So this is at Grand Canyon University, obviously in Arizona, right?
yes, yes,
And you started a
yes,
college program there. Or you said you
we
started.
did. Yes, and so
Oh,
the
that's
it
fascinating.
the college program is pretty much moving now. Like that Duper's gotten involved and they're doing regional tournaments, and a lot of schools are competing for what's going to be like a national collegiate championship this year. And so yeah, so it's getting pretty big, and it's amazing just to see like in the 6 years that I've been involved with GCU, just the involvement of the students and other campuses around us. Like we have University of Arizona, we have Arizona State University that are fairly close by, and so I've gotten them involved, and those guys have at least 100 students that are just out there playing, having fun, and so that's kind of what I'm doing right now as far as like the
Growing the game of
emphasis.
pickleball in college. Wow.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So that's in the long term is to get this to where it's in elementary schools and we have high school teams and we can bring it up to the college level and have universities competing with each other and having teams and basically
How did
turned
you?
into an
I
Olympic sport. So
I'm sorry, man. I mean, I've watched some of those videos when you first started doing this,
mhm,
and I literally when I first saw that I thought it was great, but I was like, this is just because this is too good to be true. There's no way this is happening. And I thought it was like just something just to fleur. Some I knew the sport wasn't going well when I started in 2018. I knew
mhm.
it. And this is the truth, listeners. It's fascinating to see how you've grown that and where it started from. And it's good because people like you, I like to call myself that here in Dallas. Well, trying to be like that with the show and building pickleball in Dallas, but primarily like you. I mean, Arizona, that's just completely amazing. I mean, Matt, that's awesome that you're doing that. I mean, that. I'm gonna cry after this is over with. No, I'm just kidding. But seriously, I mean that. That's congrats to you, man. I think that's great that you're doing that.
Yeah, and we have supported schools, and so it's the like I said, the goal is to get it to where it's an official competition at universities. And outside of that, what I'm involved with, I do, like you had mentioned, I'm sort of a part owner of a company called Armor Pickleball,
And what is that
and
for? All is it all knickknacks or is it paddles, ball? What is it?
yeah, all things pickleball. We have paddles, nets, balls, bags, everything you can think of. And I partner with the guy that someone you might be able to get on your show sometime. It would be another great guy to have on there. His name's Steve Wong, and he actually is. He's used to own Onyx, and he built that up and then
Yes,
sold it,
yes,
and now he started Armor Pickleball,
yes.
and so we're kind of growing this from the grassroots and basically doing it, from his expertise. And he was involved with USA Pickleball originally, starting that here in Surprise, and
This
he's
is
he's actually a
fascinating.
part of the Hall of Fame of pickleball. And so I'm kind of surrounded by that and get to play with him and get to add those skills, as I'm playing with him. And
All
so
right,
that
Matt needs to get
that
an agent, guys. Matt's got to get an agent. It's official. Matt Hampton needs to get an agent.
yeah, that would be great, man. Any calls out there, we'll get him going.
No, that's great. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna give her props. Uh, I had I hate when I do this. Lynn Cherry on. I emailed her out to Blue and see if she want to come on my show, right? And I thought she'd say no way, like you. No, I'm kidding. But I thought she'd say no, but she came on and she invited me on her show. But listen, man, when she started her show, I heard you, and I remember Mr. Wong talking about leaving Onyx and partnering with Armor Pickleball on one of her shows. Is that correct, if I remember?
Yeah, that would have been back then. That time, I think so. I can't remember exact
It's
dates, but yeah,
okay.
would have been about the time we were starting. So
That's great, man. See, I know you're shocked, but I stalk you. I do, Matt.
order
Anyway.
order order protection coming soon. Watch out.
Anyway, well, that's great, man. So we're going to your pros. Do you have pros in place? Tell us what you do with the people that work with you with having these college kids, or do you do camps? Kind of tell us about what you all do.
Yeah, so there's a lot involved with different levels. With the collegiate level, I do a lot of camps with that, and mostly with our school, and then involved with other schools that are local to us. With Armor, we have a team of people. We have basically probably 10 people that are all certified. Some of them are pros, and we go to different places that are all around the United States. Steve, like I was mentioned before, is one of those that he does camps with Level Up.
Mhm.
We do camps through Armor as well, and we just introduce that people that are basic to the sport. We do advanced level camps, and it's pretty awesome. Just it's a lot of fun just seeing, especially the people that are brand new to the sport, just
Yeah.
learn it, and within 20 minutes they're picking it up and they're out there having fun
Having
and
fun.
just really wanting to play more and learn more and get better at it. So
That's great. And so like, is there any type of and I have to say this, there really is no objective or right or wrong answer with this. I am IPTPA and USPTA certified. Is there any type of do you ask your trainers or your coaches to get certified, or do you have a certain thing, or what's your
yeah,
stance on that?
so most of them are the PPR certified and some of them are IPTPA certified. So we do both of those. But through all of those, that's basically the certification that we require for them to be able to teach, and that's, as you know, it's a process you go through, and you learn a lot just to do that, and you meet a lot of great people as you go through that process as well, and you get connected with people all over the United States. And but yeah, that's part of the requirement. So we want to make sure they know that they're not just out there throwing stuff together, that
Yeah.
they have kind of a routine and idea of how to do this and the basics of how to teach it. So
And that's good to know. I mean, I'm a big believer in it with regards to keeping you up to date with what's current, even though, and I also like the fact that there's different certifications from different various nonprofit organizations because they all have teach the same thing with different spins, right? Like if someone came to
mhm,
me and said, well, Matt told me to do this, I'm the type of person who would say, I understand why I told you that. That's for that case. Let's
yeah.
focus on this case. I'm not the type to have, oh, that's not right. That's because we've all been on staffs like that. It sucks. It's just
Yeah.
not fun. So,
No,
and
and every person you teach is different. So you want, the more you know from different
yes,
aspects, like
sir.
somebody teaches it this way, somebody teaches it this way, you can bring in those different skills and it might work with this person better, from the way you learn from this certification as opposed to maybe another one. And so that I just, that's the way I look at it, is like it's just helpful to learn from all those different skill sets. And as you're working with a specific individual, they have a specific way of learning something, and you want to be able to meet their needs and help them in the best way possible. So
Yep. He sounds like a very autonomous, very, what's the word? Gives you a lot of autonomy if you
yeah,
work for him. And that's best kind of man. My dad always told me the best type of manager you don't have to manage. And that doesn't,
yeah,
now he goes, that doesn't mean you don't inspect what you expect. It means,
yeah, yeah.
so then that sounds like that's the best type of stuff to have. That's great. So, right now, tell us a little, what's your favorite, what thus far, teaching, playing, do you have a favorite spot in mind that just you'd like to go back to someday with pickleball?
I don't necessarily have like favorite spot. I like, because I'm out here in Surprise, which is like the mecca, and there's like so many people that come here. People play there, so I get to do a lot there. So I was kind of fortunate. I'm like 10 minutes from there, so when I first started this sport, I got to you know meet people like Yoda Friedenberg and
Wow.
Steve Wong and like named Gigi Lemasters and
Yeah.
a lot of these 5-0 players that were playing like in Surprise, and I was amazed like how helpful they were just to like teach you the game. Like yeah, they give you tips like work on this, do this. You're out there playing rec sports and
Mhm.
you're just in awe, like oh
Yeah.
wow.
That's
But
fun,
they
man.
yeah. So like I don't necessarily have a place I like to go back. I like, because I love Surprise, but I mean I love traveling, so I love going to places that the beauty of the
Just
places. But
mixing it up, right? Just mixing it up.
yeah, yeah, for sure.
Well, the cool thing that we really like about Mr. Matt Hampton is that he's in Surprise, Arizona, which is where our Texas Rangers are holding spring training. And guess who else is there, Mr. Hampton?
Who was that?
Our Emily Jones. She's a sports reporter for the Rangers. She and Julie Dobbs. They have a podcast here called The Mom Game, and they are hilarious. But anyway,
Nice.
just the FYI. So, any favorite if you do play? Do you have a favorite shot or no?
You know what? I my favorite shot is like I do an inside out shot
Hmm.
that's kind of surprises people. So it's just something I think that I got from different skill sets, playing ping pong,
Yeah.
playing tennis.
Is that a backhand inside? It looked like you were doing
No,
that.
it's a forehand. Like it
Okay.
looks like I'm going down the middle, and at the
Okay.
last second, I turn my hand, and it's like
Oh
it
yeah.
tricks.
Okay.
It makes a lot of people's legs wobble, and they. In fact, my favorite point I ever got was against Steve Wong when he was at
Yeah.
the time he's pro, and he thought I was going down the middle, and I did that shot, and it just totally fooled him. And I was like, this is why I'm out here. That's why I get to come back.
You don't know this right now. You do, you moron, but we're going to get a company together.
That's right.
We're going to start a badass company together one day.
That's right. That's right.
That's cool. Any favorite drill or tip that you like?
You know, I'm one that I don't necessarily have a favorite one, but I tell people if you want to get better, you have to drill. You know, that's just part of the game. Like you can't just go out there and do rec play and expect to get better and expect to,
Mhm.
just become uh, a better players at the different levels. If you want to get to 405 to 50 to whatever it may be, you're starting at a 30 and you want to get to 40. You have to find somebody to drill with. You have to maybe get a coach to teach you. You have to practice. That's just part of the game. So it's not like one skill that I'd recommend, but I would just say like you have to drill. That's so key to getting better and find the time to do that because that's going to make you better when you go out and play those rec games because you're just practicing those shots and you just do better when you perform in
So,
the tournaments and in the game. So
so the theory of going out and playing a bunch of matches, hitting the ball hard, is really kind of pointless.
I mean that's fun, but it's not going to get you better in the long terms.
Love it. Everybody ever take note of that from the Matt Hampton. Wow, that's true. It's true. I know it's true. It's funny. I was watching a show that we had. I better get this right. Not you, me. Rick Whitskin with Rick
Mhm.
Whitskin on, and
Yeah.
I was watching his show, and he was funny. He was talking about how the people just have to get comfortable with what they're not comfortable with,
Yeah.
because that's the only way you get better.
Yeah.
And I said, I told my favorite shot was a lob. He said, Curtis, I would have told you that was bullshit about 6 or 8 months ago, but I actually believe the lob is a very important shot to have.
Yeah. Yeah. It used to be when I first came in, I was like, don't lob, especially against the pros or because there
Yeah.
are people that are better because they'll kill you with that. But if you learn to do it right, it's a good skill set. So it's all good.
Yep. All right, so we'll go to the next segment here, a fun part of our show. It's just basically your story, Matt. Like tell our viewers and listeners about kind of who you are in case they ever are driving through there or they want to do a job or meet whatever. Just tell them good things about you.
Sure. So it's interesting because I was born in Arizona, raised here, so not many people can say that living here. It's like most people are from other places, so it's kind of cool that I saw this city just explode and just get bigger um and just it's fun. I always try to make light of that because there's not many people in Arizona that are actually native Arizonans. So that's the first thing about me. I I have I got married when I was in kind of towards my late 20s. I was about 28, and I've been married to my wife for a little over 20 years now. And basically, we through that process, we weren't allowed to, or my wife couldn't have kids, so we decided we were going to adopt kids. And my wife has a loving heart, and we actually ended up adopting 7 kids. So it's a big family I have in a big house. And keeps keeps me chaotic at times and pulling my hair out. And
Oh
but
no.
I love playing pickleball with them. My youngest is 6 and my oldest is 26.
Oh wow. That's a
So it's
wide range,
yeah,
man.
it's a
Well,
crazy this morning getting them up for school and getting them ready. It's always like, all right, let's get this going and organize this.
yeah, I'm one of 4, so we were all numbers. Do you number your kids? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Sometimes it's like, okay, number 4, go here, get here's number 4's toothbrush, go get it. Yeah,
Well, my sister adopted Ryan, my niece, who is
nice.
a month. Garner's the first of 11 grandkids. My oldest son, Ryan was born a month after, and we adopted her from China. And so
Oh wow,
that's amazing. And I got married
yeah.
in my late 20s. I was 28, my wife's 27, and we've been together for 2,485 years. But it's all been fun, and
Hmm.
and anyway, so that's good to know. And also, is there a street named after David Spade in Arizona? Please.
I don't know the fact that there might be. I don't really know. I know my nephew works at a restaurant. I don't even know the name of the restaurant, but he actually, I think he's one of the part owners over in Scottsdale.
Yeah, he is.
And he comes in there every once in a while. My nephew's like one of the chefs there, one of the people that cook the food, and so he sends me pictures of him coming in every once in a while.
Yeah, I was just kidding about that. He talks about anyway. We'll get to that anyway. So now we're going to in the kitchen. That's where we talk of kind of the funny things you like, you're listening to or jamming to, and I'm just going to start with music. Right today, I was listening to some Ryan Bingham.
Hmm.
He's in that movie, that show, the Yellowstone, which is awesome.
Oh yeah, I love that show.
Yep, and it's Mescalito. Hold on. Mescalito Roadhouse Sun. Amazing album.
Mhm.
Came out in 2010. I'm cranking that up. What are you jamming?
I love that show. So when I hear the music on there,
Yeah.
I love it. So it's like just
Are you like an
some of
80s
those.
guy? You're an 80s guy or 90s? What are you listening to?
Just mostly 80s, 90s. I mean, that's when I listen to music. That's the kind of music I kind of tune into. I don't have like a favorite group or anything, but I just, like
Just
that's,
what you're feeling, right?
yep. When I go back to back when I was younger in those days. So it's all good.
I understand that. Okay, so favorite movie, or you binge watching something right now? I am watching. Remember that sitcom Coach?
I do. Yes.
I'm
That was a
watching.
fun
I'm
one.
binge watching those right now. But what do you watch? Do you have time with your kids and all that? Do you have time to binge watch anything, you and your wife?
I don't binge watch. My favorite movie, like that I make my kids watch every once in a while is like
Yeah.
Hoosiers.
Oh
I love
yes.
I love Hoosiers, just I guess the comeback stories and also like Rudy stories like
Yes.
that, because the kids I can show my kids that and it's like, look at this, this is awesome. This is perseverance is what
Yes.
life's all about, man.
Yep. So have you seen
So
that? You remember that movie Power of One? That was
I
that was a
I
similar
don't know
one.
which one was that. I don't think I've seen that.
Power of One. It's got Steven Dorff, I think, and it's got Morgan Freeman. It's where he's a South African. He's a boxer. It's
Okay.
similar to what you're talking about. I guess
Yeah,
a
yeah,
few months back that like that show. Similar to just perseverance, which is
yeah,
no kidding. Look what you do for a living. Look what you're creating. I mean, obviously it is
yeah.
perseverance. So this is gonna go. This is gonna go to a podcast. Do you have a favorite podcast you listen to in the car? I listen to David Spade and Dana Carvey, which is awesome. Fly on the wall. They're talking to all the SNL guys, and he always talks about that community college in Arizona he went to and all that. So that's why I was
Yeah,
thinking about. That's what I'm listening to on my podcast.
yeah, yeah. It's funny because like I usually like to do lighthearted stuff, but lately, because I'm trying to do stuff where I can teach my students like mindset and just skills for life when I'm, helping them at the university as far as with pickleball. Because it's like I'm telling them it's not all about pickleball. So there's a guy that's in leadership that's called Darren Hardy. I listen to a lot of he's a big success guru guy, and but he has a lot of podcasts and a lot of stuff that he puts out daily. And so I listen to him just so I can kind of take insights from that and give it to my kids. And look, we talk about some of the life skills and things that are added onto, pickleball that help you not only in pickleball but in life. So that's kind of what I've been doing lately.
That's good. I mean, it keeps you motivated. I'm not lack of a better word. You know what I mean? It keeps you always thinking of ways to keep the people around you because otherwise things suck. So, do you have a favorite team, favorite sport?
Oh yeah, you know what? I was a big sports guy. Like I played pretty much almost every sport you can think of. I played baseball and basketball and just um, played football in high school and all those fun things. And but my growing up here when I was younger, we didn't really have like a lot of teams. We had the Phoenix Suns. That was like the big
I
one.
remember
We
that.
always so that was like the only team that you could root for. So that I will always be a diehard Phoenix Suns
Oh
fan.
yeah.
But we didn't have like a baseball team when I was younger. Um, but the Los Angeles Dodgers had like a lot of you know
Farm teams.
radio. Yeah, that was just there's a lot of reach here because they were close to them. And so I was a Dodger fan growing up. And then when the Diamondbacks got here, it turned into a big time Diamondbacks fan, even though they haven't been the greatest lately. But it was a lot of fun when Randy Johnson was there
Oh
and
yeah.
Kurt Schilling and
Oh yeah.
the heyday of the
Is it still kind of fun to go I'm sure the weather out there is awesome. Is it fun to go
oh
to a
yeah.
game? Man, that's the best
It's
environment.
yeah. I mean, spring training is the best out here. You can go
Oh
like
yeah.
I don't just go to the Diamondbacks ones. I go like try to go to a lot of them, just different teams, see how just like get the players. But it's beautiful weather. It's like 70s out here right now, and
Yeah.
you can't ask for anything better. So this is when it gets really busy because there's so many people coming to see all those spring training games.
You guys just heard it right here. Matt invited me to spring training 2024 for the Rangers in
There
Surprise,
you go.
Arizona, right, Matt?
Come on out. That's right. Come on out.
But seriously, no, I'm just kidding with you. Thanks. Well, that's the best part about a place like that to go watch a game. Then there's also what's the NHL team, the Coyotes. How are they
Oh,
doing?
Coyotes, yeah, yeah,
They're pretty
yeah.
fun to go to.
I'm not much of a like a hockey fan.
Yeah,
I never really got into that as much, but
yeah,
I have been to a few games and I cheered them on since they've been here, and it's
yeah.
been that's a lot of fun too.
Oh
So
yeah, you got lot of variety, especially now. It's Arizona. I'm an idiot. Yeah, that's good. I'm sorry, I went
yeah,
idiot.
we got the Cardinals, Arizona Cardinals. That's our football team. That's They don't usually do too well, but we have high hopes every year anyway. So
I was born in Kansas, and I've been a Chiefs fan since I was born. So I I loved them before they were. I get it. I loved them before
yeah,
they got Mahomes, and my wife went to Tech, so you know how
yeah,
that works. But well,
nice.
that's good, man. So we got a favorite pet. You know, pet you got a favorite pet you like the most at the house hanging out? Favorite dog?
I make fun of people that like cats. I'm not a cat guy, but I love dogs. So I
Dogs.
I used to have a German Shepherd growing up. I love German Shepherds. There's another one, Australian Shepherd. Those guys, like, just, I mean, you can train them and they'll do like all kinds of fun stuff. It's just crazy. So yeah, so dogs are the thing. That's what I like.
All right, all right. So last thing here is, what is something about you that no one knows that's funny?
I
Mine,
love,
yeah, look, I'll tell you what mine is because I got to
go
tell
ahead,
you
go ahead, go ahead.
because you have to think because some people don't know what to say and then some people say something then they think of something else. So mine is right now I'm watching the remember the Batman cartoon that came
Yeah,
out in like early to mid '90s that had Mark Hamill as the Joker.
yeah.
Totally watched that because it's like 22 minutes long. What were you going to say, man?
No, I was just saying, like, when I was a kid, I remember, um, like, like I said, we didn't have major league baseball team, but there was a minor league team here, and so it just so happened, like, my dad took me to this game, and I was in Little League Baseball, and basically, like, Tommy Lasorda was there doing like the announcing for the game, and so I was all excited. Wow, Tommy Lasorda, that'd be awesome, man. I wish I could get his autograph. And so my dad's like, I don't know if you're gonna be able to get it. And so my dad felt bad, so he got a baseball. We actually got a foul ball during the game, and he signed his name in Tommy Lasorda's signature, signed Tommy Lasorda's name, trying to trick me, I guess. And he brought it over, and he's like, I was like, Dad, I don't know, man, I don't know if that's it. And so what was even more funny is, like, probably 10 minutes later, Tommy Lasorda came by. It's like, had the ball in my hand. I gave him the ball, and Tommy Lasorda signs the ball, and he looks at it. He says, "I don't know, son. Somebody looks like somebody signed my name here wrong already."
You shitting me? There's no
No,
way that happened. Are you serious?
yeah, yeah. So I have the ball with my dad's signature, and then, well, it's not his signature. It's Tommy Lasorda's signature with my dad's signature on it.
Oh.
And then Tommy Lasorda's actual signature. So it was kind of funny. And I think that was one of the years they won this World Series. I can't remember, but
Oh,
it was
that's a
pretty
trip.
close.
That's a trip.
Yeah, so that was my exposure to Tommy Lasorda. It was awesome.
Damn, I think that's the best I've heard so far. Oh well, listen, man. We're gonna wrap up here. If like I said, some people, if it's okay, how would listeners or viewers get in contact with you? Say either take one of your camps or get on a list to go to your camps, or what's a good way for someone, or maybe someone wants to work for you? You know, how would they get in touch with Matt Hampton?
So the quickest way is to go to our website. It's www.armourpickleball.com, and you can go on there, and if you have questions about camps and different things, you can click on that, and it'll send information where we can give that to you. If you want to, my personal email, you can do that as well, as like just mattman, mattman 0071 at gmail.com, and you can send me a message, and I can help you in any way possible with lessons, with getting to camps, with whatever you have questions about pickleball. And if there's somebody that needs help that I might not know, I can probably point you in the right direction and it's in another area. So yeah,
He's the
that's
consummate pickleball pro. What are you saying?
that's right. Constant pickleball pro wherever you go. So
Consummate. Yep. Well, thanks, Matt. We appreciate you having on. I can be reached at Curtis at ReeseRacketSports.com. Ready for this? CURTIS ampersand REESERACKETS sports. I messed it up. .com. If you'd like to sponsor the show, you'd like to come on the show, or you have ideas for the show, I can be reached at that, or you can check out the website. I've got LinkedIn, Insta, Facebook. Matt does too. And
yes.
thanks for coming on. But bro, we're gonna have. You know what? I'm gonna hold you to that whole entire invite next year to spring training. That
Yeah, and
sound
I did
good?
want to mention, I forgot to, like, I started a site
Oh yeah.
on LinkedIn called Pickleball Network. So that's kind of brand new, and I'm just putting stuff on there to help people learn about pickleball. So if they want to go to that, that's a great place to be as well. So
Say it one more time, please, Matt.
it's called Pickleball Network, and it's on LinkedIn. It's another one that's just
Yeah,
sort
hang
of a
on.
general way to learn about pickleball.
That's right. Hold on here. I'm gonna do it right now, bro. LinkedIn live on
Called
stage.
the Pickleball Network.
Let's see here.
You got to find it on a group. It's just brand new. It's probably less than 100 members right now. So
The PSCKLE group. The pickle.
the Pickleball Network. Yeah, I don't think there's group in that in the name, but You might have to look under groups when you're looking for it in LinkedIn.
All right. All right. There it is. We got it. I found it. I'm gonna jump on there, and without further ado, check that out. And please stay tuned for our next show coming up. And have a great weekend. And we'll talk to you soon. Matt, talk to you soon. Hang on. Take care.
Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.
Coming through.